She was beautiful, truly naturally beautiful. The kind of beauty money can't buy. But she threw it all away for something that wasn't even real.
Wait, what do you mean, not real?
A necklace. She lost everything for a necklace. And that necklace, it was fake.
She didn't know it was fake?
No, and that's what makes this story legendary. The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant, one of the greatest short story writers ever. French 1800s, a master of the twist ending.
Like a surprise at the end.
Not just a surprise, a twist that rewrites everything. The last line has shocked readers for 140 years.
One line that powerful?
5 words, they change the whole story. It's set in Paris, a young woman named Mathilde. She has beauty, charm, everything except money. And she believes she was born for more.
Born for more. That sounds dangerous.
It is. Now let me tell you exactly how it happened.
Mathilde Loisel was a young woman in Paris. She was beautiful, truly beautiful. Everyone said so. But beauty was all she had. She was born into a family of clerks, as if by some error of destiny. Her husband was a simple office worker, kind but not rich. And Mathilde wanted to be rich. She dreamed of grand dining rooms with silk curtains. She dreamed of silver plates and quiet servants. But her life was plain, a small apartment, worn-out furniture. Every detail of her home made her suffer. She had a wealthy friend named Madame Forestier. Every visit left Mathilde burning with envy. One evening, her husband came home with a big smile. He held up a thick envelope. It was an invitation to a grand ball at the ministry. But Mathilde did not smile. She began to cry. She wept with grief, with misery, with despair. "I have nothing to wear," she said through her tears. "Every woman there will look better than me." Her husband sat quietly. Then he spoke. How much would a nice dress cost? He had saved 400 francs for a hunting gun. He gave every franc to her without a single complaint. The dress was made. It was beautiful. But now she had a new problem, no jewelry. "Go ask Madame Forestier," her husband said. "She will lend you something." The next day, Mathilde went to her friend's house. Madame Forestier smiled and opened a large jewelry box. Bracelets, pearls, and gold chains sparkled inside. Mathilde tried them on, one by one. Nothing felt right, nothing felt grand enough. Then she saw it, in a black satin case. A diamond necklace. It blazed with light. Her hands trembled as she lifted it out. She placed it around her neck and looked in the mirror. Her heart raced. She looked like a completely different woman. "Can you lend me this?" she whispered. "Just this?" Her friend smiled. "Of course, my dear." Mathilde kissed her and hurried home, holding the necklace tight. The night of the ball arrived. Mathilde walked into the grand hall and every head turned. She was the most beautiful woman in the room. She danced, intoxicated with pleasure, drunk with passion. Every man wanted to know her name. Even the minister himself asked her to dance. She forgot her small apartment. She forgot her plain life. For one night, she was the woman she always dreamed of being. She danced until 4 a.m. Her husband had been sleeping in a small room since midnight. He wrapped his old coat around her shoulders in the cold air. She rushed away. She did not want anyone to see that coat. At home, she stood before the mirror for one last look. Then she screamed. The necklace was gone. It was no longer around her neck. They searched everywhere. the streets, the cab, nothing. The diamond necklace had vanished. They had to replace it. They found the same one at a jeweler. The price was 36,000 francs. Her husband used everything, his savings, his father's money. He borrowed the rest from moneylenders at terrible rates. They bought a real diamond necklace and returned it to Madame Forestier. Matilda said nothing. She never told her friend what happened. Then began 10 years of misery. They moved to a tiny room under the roof. Mathilde let the maid go. She did everything herself. She washed the dishes. She scrubbed the floors. She came to know the odious labors of a life of poverty. Her hands grew rough and red. Her beauty faded. She looked old. After 10 long years, every last franc was finally paid. One Sunday, Matilda was walking along a wide Paris street. She saw a woman strolling ahead, still young, still beautiful. It was Madame Forestier. Matilda's heart pounded. Should she speak to her? She gathered her courage and walked up to her old friend. "Hello, Jean," she said. The woman stared at her. She did not recognize Matilda. "I am Mathilde Loisel." Her friend gasped. "Oh, Matilda, you have changed so much." Matilda smiled a sad, proud smile. "Yes, I have had a very hard life because of you." She told her everything, the lost necklace, the debt, the 10 years. "We paid every franc back. It took us 10 years. Madame Forestier stopped. She took Matilda's rough red hands. "Oh, my poor Mathilde, but mine was paste. It was worth at most 500 francs.
Wow, that ending.
I did not see that coming.
Right? Now let's go back to the very beginning. Maupassant says she was born as if by some error of destiny.
Destiny? What does that mean exactly?
Your destiny is the path your life is meant to follow. But he calls it an error, a mistake.
So destiny and fate are the same thing?
Close, but fate feels random. Destiny feels planned. Matilda believes her destiny was luxury. She thinks the universe made a mistake putting her here.
But she never worked for it. She just believed it.
She didn't have bad luck. She had a beautiful lie. But the worst part? We haven't gotten there yet. Her husband brings home an invitation to a grand ball.
That sounds like good news.
But she cries. She wept with grief, with misery, with despair.
Grief, misery, despair. Aren't those all the same?
Not at all. Grief is pain from losing something. A misery is deeper, long, heavy suffering. Despair is the worst. All hope is gone.
So each word gets darker.
Like steps going down into a hole.
Why did he use 3 words? Why not just one?
Because one word can't show how far she fell. And all of this because she has no dress to wear.
Her husband gave up his savings for her.
We'll come back to that. His sacrifice matters more than you think. Now she has the dress, but she needs jewelry. She visits her rich friend Madame Forestier.
Let me guess. She picks the biggest one.
A diamond necklace in a black satin case. Can you lend me this, just this?
Lend? Is that the same as give?
No, lend means giving something for a while. Borrow is the opposite, taking it for a while.
So the friend lends it. Matilda borrows it.
And notice that word just. That's pure desperation.
She's begging for something that isn't even hers.
Something she thinks will change who she is. For one night, maybe, but oh, the price she pays. Imagine this. You walk into the grandest ball in Paris. Every head turns, every man wants your name.
That sounds incredible.
She danced, intoxicated with pleasure, drunk with passion.
Intoxicated? Isn't that just drunk?
Similar, but intoxicated goes deeper. So full of joy that you lose all judgment.
She danced until 4 in the morning, right?
Until 4? I'd be asleep by 10.
Same.
But here's what happens after 4 a.m. She gets home, stands before the mirror, and the necklace is gone.
Gone?
They searched everywhere, nothing. One night of being intoxicated, a lifetime of paying for it. They had to replace the necklace.
How much?
36,000 francs.
His 400 francs for a gun? That's nothing now.
They borrowed from everyone, terrible interest rates. And she never told her friend the truth.
Why not just tell her?
She was too proud. Pride was her destiny all along. So for 10 years, she lived in misery.
What did 10 years do to her?
She scrubbed floors, carried water, washed heavy pots. Maupassant calls it the odious labors of the kitchen.
Odious?
Hateful, disgusting, worse than just terrible.
She dreamed of silk. Now she has rough, red hands.
Her friend lent her that necklace so easily, it took 10 years to pay. After 10 years, every last franc was paid. Then she sees Madame Forestier on the street.
Does her friend even recognize her?
No, Matilda has changed beyond recognition. She tells her everything, and her friend takes her hands. Oh, my poor Matilda, but mine was paste.
Paste? What does that mean?
Fake jewelry, cheap glass made to look like diamonds.
Why not just say fake? Why paste?
Because that's what they called it in the 1800s. And it sounds more specific, more cruel.
500 francs. They paid 36,000.
10 years of odious work for something worth almost nothing.
She didn't lose a necklace. She lost her whole life.
Remember how we started? She was beautiful, truly beautiful. She had the real thing, but she chased something fake.
That's the paradox.
Maupassant wrote this in 1884. But think about today.
Status likes. Things just for show.
But mine was paste, one line, over 100 years of truth. Now here's my question. What if Matilda had told the truth that night?
Everything would have been different.
Maybe, but could she really be that honest? If she could, would she have wanted that necklace at all? So I'll leave you with this. What are you chasing that might not even be real?